Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Simon and we are the Whales of Wall Street. Today we are going through Decentraland and Sandbox. So a couple of updates before we go into the chart. We've of course recently mentioned in the previous video about the really cool little horse racing element in the casinos that have just been integrated into the Decentraland gaming platform. We've also got some really interesting party goers here. I'm not sure I condone this, but never mind. I'm sure many people really appreciate that. But yes, here we go. So there's been a few other games, like some basketball games as well being added, which is quite cool. Along this boat party thing, basically, you can just turn up and get involved in some games, etc. So, of course, like Decentraland, which we covered in previous videos and everything, of what's available on the platform, you walking around as your own avatar, integrating, of course, as time goes on, NFTs and things like this, smart contracts of the land that you buy and sell. That's mainly around the mana tokenomics there. So when we do go into the chart, I'll explain a bit more about that, how we see sort of reflections of price points, demand and supply, etc., to sort of bring that a bit more to life. So yeah, there's nothing major update-wise for Decentraland. They're still on path for the roadmap for some other really cool, exciting things before the end of this year. And I think what we'll do maybe next week is just go into the roadmaps of each of these projects in more detail, just to catch up on a couple of things based on the original videos we did maybe a month or so ago on these cool games. So that's Decentraland and Sandbox. Again, nothing major. I quite like this though. They've done an all out here, just enjoying the last few days of summer here in the UK. If you haven't got enough sunshine, jump onto the Sandbox game. There's plenty there, and you can get involved in the beach and the parties and all of this stuff. Eating fake virtual food. I don't know how that works. I thought this was quite cool as well. So they're part of the Walking Dead initiative that they've got, where there's some games and the ability to get involved in areas of the Sandbox game where there's essentially loads of really cool characters walking around. They've added a few Egyptian ones as well, which I thought was really cool. So definitely something to have a look at when you get some time. And yeah, other than that, nothing major in terms of some bigger developments since the last video that we've done. One I will add, by the way, is Yield Games. So we'll have a look at that in more detail in the next one. And what I'm going to try and do is kind of pull maybe 5 gaming, like genuine gaming projects that involve crypto and blockchain into these one kind of videos, because I think it's good, like, to get people excited about the initiative of gaming within crypto and blockchain, and have a look, of course, all these amazing projects. So let's take a look at some of those other ones as we go along. But yeah, it's a bit more about the Walking Dead aspect as well, and all the other cool stuff in Sandbox. So now we've got that bit out of the way, let's take a look quickly at the chart. Before we do, please do make sure, if you have not done so already, to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you press that notification bell so you get informed of all the awesome videos we can throw your way. And hopefully you're enjoying them. I think you're enjoying them. The subscribers keep going up and up, which is unbelievable. I couldn't believe how quick they've gone up. So I really appreciate your support, and thank you so much. And hopefully you are learning something along the way. I know I am all the time, and that's really cool. So we start with Sandbox, currently trading just under 80 cents as of recording time. So just thought I'd throw this out there. So since the 22nd of June, which is its last very lowest point, up until most recently, where we had the new all-time highs here up at $1, nearly $1.20, we have had an amazing 700% increase in growth. I think that's quite phenomenal. A lot of people wonder if Sandbox is actually doing anything or not. Well, this is proof in the pudding that it definitely is. And of course, there's always corrections along the way as we go. And I just wanted to point out a couple of areas of interest to me. So this one in particular, I didn't actually have in originally. Of course, with the silly Bitcoin day, we did actually touch this area. So I put it in again, just in case, because if we look at this MACD here, we are in a bearish momentum, and also the RSI is currently sat at around 47. So there's still room in the tank for a potential further drop, in my opinion. That's why I put that area in there. And I've also put this potential buy area in here as well, because if you look here, we've only had a small number of opportunities at this level to showcase a potential resistance level. So I don't anticipate us going lower than this, because typically in this big growth pattern, you tend to see around sort of 50% retracement. And I'm not sure if we'll get that fully in this particular run of September. That's why I put one there. If you're going gung-ho, you may want to try one around this sort of area at 50 cents or just above it. But I do believe that we are progressing with this project in particular for this year. So I'm hoping that we can get that finalized support at 60 cents that we've tracked a couple of times on the journey so far. But as I said, we are in a bearish momentum. That's why I got this this opportunity here. And also what I would say is this particular flip over on the histogram, we're still kind of obtaining the middle format of when will we get to the point where it starts switching back. And I don't think we're quite there yet. So I don't want to keep doing optimistic videos and say, oh, we're going to the moon and everything. No, we've got to be a bit realistic and appreciate that where the project is at this moment in time and how we can move forwards with it. So you always have to have corrections to get to the real price points that it should be at this point in time in order to become healthy in the project and rise upwards. That's not to say that in the near future, I'm expecting in October for us to really, push past that dollar properly, and get more up towards that $2 mark. I do think, really, in my opinion, that we could try and push for around a $5 price this year. I don't know what you guys think. Let us know in the comments below what you think your price prediction is for Sandbox in this year, because I think the development of the game is the most important part. And when I mentioned earlier in this video, Decentraland and Sandbox almost have their own algorithm based compared to most other projects out there, like key fundamental project kind of things, because it really is down to the demand and supply within the game tokenomics, right? So any new launches, any new additions to the game will really affect the price here. So as you know, we've just been through the video, there's not been many updates, particularly for Sandbox or Decentraland. So kind of the bearish momentum comes from after big launches and things like that. In general, people getting more onboarded with the game. I do believe these two are gigantic projects for the years to come, absolutely, as VR develops, as avatar gaming becomes more and more popular, especially in blockchain and crypto. So it's definitely one for the future. But in the short term, I just want to make it clear that I believe that these two projects, in my opinion, are very heavily based chart-wise around the game's momentum and what they are doing community-wise and what are they doing tokenomics-wise in terms of new NFT drops or land enhancements, etc. like this. And as well as launch pads, of course, on exchanges. So that's why I've got these areas in here just from the application that we are in a bearish mode. But we will recover. Do not worry about that. And I do anticipate us to try and test this area around here again like we are currently around that sort of 80 cent mark. But it's really important that we shift past that, get to that sort of 84 cents and really push up. So the next few days I am anticipating still a potential gradual reduction before we tail upwards. But this video was mainly around potential buy opportunities that I'm going for and sharing that experience and thought process with you guys. Like I said, I don't want to keep going, oh yeah, we're going to the moon, we're going to do this and that. We want to look at things as they happen and project what we know based on what we see, okay? So keep an eye on their Twitter accounts for all the activities and things that might help towards understanding where the tokenomics and this chart are going. If you see rumors of things or potential launch dates, anticipate that similar process and application theory-wise as for example, Cardano, where you start hearing the rumors and the news that something's going to happen, and then when the news happens, it pretty much shoots straight down, right? So keep that in mind when you're thinking about that. But the volumes are tailing off as well, which again gives me the, not encouragement, but the emphasis in my mind that we may come and tail down, because actually, theoretically, most recently, we've only really, that's quite a minor one, have tested this region a handful of times. To get that fourth confirmation, I think is really important for us to grow this project further. So that is Sandbox. Let us know if you're holding Sand tokens or if you're even indeed on the game. Let us know what you think about the game and what have you bought in the game, what land have you got, etc. Really interested to know, and it might push me to go and get the game as well. So let's see about that. Into Decentraland. Similar aspect here. So look at this growth, nearly 200% from this point here on the 20th of June, all the way up to the most recent high point, just over $1, nearly $1.10. And I've picked out a few areas here Again, potential buy opportunities. We actually hit this one on the way down, which we put in a video previously. And we also attached this one here, okay? So I'm leaving that one in there just in case of a rebound. But also, if you're looking for another potential buying opportunity, we may find one around about, in my opinion, at this level here where this circle is, okay? And the reason I've drawn that in is similar process. We've had 3 touch points on that particular section, and of course historically we've had a few more as well, but I do think in the short term, the macro end, if we can get a 4th decision of definite support at this level around 74 cents, again, it's part of the health of the project to move upwards. I think that is potentially another possibility. We did it on the Bitcoin day, and we did a good retracement, but similarly this MACD isn't looking great, and we are not really, in my opinion, in the midpoint yet of this bearish momentum in terms of sell-off and, you know, being oversold. I'm getting my words mixed up. So I do anticipate a few more days of this potential looking negativity aspect, if you want to put it that way, before we start seeing a bit more control. Get that 80, 81, 82 cent mark as a support line, which we are doing quite well in the last 2-3 days. But like I said, with the bearish momentum, I'm just being cautious. We might hit these areas here before the uptake. So I don't anticipate an uptake in the next few days unless Decentraland miraculously come up with some mental update or something that really pushes confidence in this, okay? So keep that in mind. The key area is this one here, 82 cents, which we are floating around now. If we can get a close, let's look at this positively in this aspect. If we can get a close at this level right now, albeit this is a red candle today, if we can get 1 or 2 more closes above this level, we may have a swing around. Okay, it's absolutely possible, completely possible. And you can see that on various MACD formats around here of how easy it is to switch around. And bear in mind, we were on a bit of a reduction anyway, and that's why I had this initial buyback point in here, because of this great growth that we've had. I hadn't really seen any significant drop, and it just seems, in my opinion, like the Bitcoin thing, of course, may be manipulated, but in a sense, I think a lot of the projects were overbought in the first place anyway. So it's probably a good thing that it was kind of something that happened on almost on purpose, if you like, to try and force this to happen so that we can get moving into October. So I do believe, you know, I'm actually anticipating, to be honest, between a $5 and $10 price point for Mana this bull run. And in the next video, when we go and break down Decentraland in a bit more detail based on the previous update we've done, I will do a proper price prediction, but I am anticipating probably between maybe like $6 or $7 for Mana this year. I do believe that. But yeah, let's get to these critical stages first, and we can go from there to be a bit more realistic on that front and give you a kind of a definitive answer, if you like. Performance wise, 17% down on the week, which is understandable because this terrible day here. Monthly, we're just struggling, and on the 3-month it is okay, not as good as it could be, but year to date has been fantastic, of course. So that is why I'm still maintaining this psychological impact here, that we might come and retest these potential areas again at some point before we see a substantial growth pattern in towards October and upwards to hopefully test the previous all-time highs back here, which we saw around 164, I believe, back in April. I think we're going to smash that once we get over there, and we'll head towards that $2-3 quite quickly, in my opinion. So let us know if you're holding Mana tokens in the comments below, and we will do another video on these guys hopefully next week. And if anything critical, as always, we will drop a new video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you like this video if you found it informative. Let us know in the comments below what you think of either of these projects, or if you're holding both, which one do you prefer? And we will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.